I'm gonna come back up.
Yeah, you're a little low.
Totally. I was pushing it.
That's a great spot to be a mushroom coral right there. With all
Or
the
you can
water
come
that
up on
just
your
rips
delta.
by that.
Nice view.
Keep you away from that scary
Yeah.
cliff face.
Getting a little close.
Yeah. Oh, this is,
Here's
we can
another one of
image
those
this,
stars.
yeah. Image the heck out of this.
Oh, yeah.
Hymenester slime star.
Okay, Wayne, go ahead and zoom.
Okay. Zooming in. Oh, it's more chicken skin.
Oh. I mean, you're right, but yuck. I'm going to back away, and can you zoom in a bit more?
Yeah.
Might be better lighting.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Is it moving?
It's out of there. It doesn't like me.
Or it's getting blown in
it's
the wash.
undulating.
Coming wide a little bit.
It's a big boy.
Yeah.
Okay, come wide.
Okay, coming wide.
There's slime stars even in shallow water up near where I live in Washington, British Columbia, in that area. They're really cool, but you just like can't handle them at all. They're really hard to collect and bring into the lab because they just excrete so much goo.
What do they eat, Megan?
Good question.
I think they're sort of generalists. You know, whatever they want. You know, they're.
It looks like they're just attached to a rock, not really going after anything.
I think they pick up just kind of a lot to try to along the ground and.
Okay. Actually,
This rock's real flat.
yeah.
Huge sponge.
Yeah. Tucked in this little kind of 90-degree section here. You can see an Argus for the shape there.
Ooh, nice coral.
Nice
on that
coral.
Underhang.
Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Whoa, that's a good one.
Maybe go up and look back.
Yeah. I might try to pivot around the outside point. We'll get a little closer up, but I won't go under on this one, I don't think. A little too much.
No, please don't.
Does that scare you?
I've replaced Wayne, everyone, just so you know.
Forever?
Forever and ever. He's gone now.
These are beautiful.
So I won't pivot. I'll check out the sponge in the meantime, but once the ship goes, I'll do the pivot action. But I'll keep the tether well away from it for you, Miles.
Thanks.
All right, Em, could you zoom in on that sponge, please?
Yeah, sure. Zooming.
Look how it's attached. That's cool.
The irising is so hard on these because they're bright white and
Totally.
they have silica skeleton, so they really reflect the glass with a little protein layer over it. So they're incredibly reflective.
Every time I see a sponge, I'm always thinking about how hard it must be for the videos, you engineers, to get it to look right.
Mm-hmm. All right, if I zoom all the way in to just get a good focus.
Go ahead, yeah.
Is this a squish or a
Nice.
crunch sponge?
Crunch sponge, I think.
All right.
Looks like a crunch sponge.
Crunch sponge.
All right, zooming out to get more of a full.
That's
Nice
great.
shot.
There we go.
Look at the size of it, too. Wow. I feel like this is a perfect little parking spot for Herc. Kind of nice.
Yeah, Flintstone's garage.
Yeah.
All right, Emily, question for you now that you're here. How many cameras are on Hercules and which directions do they face?
Before you answer that,
Oh,
can you come
gosh.
wide, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Gives me time to think of an answer. I used to really know this. I think there are 13 cameras on Hercules. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That would
There's.
be the two of them combined.
That's the 2 vehicles combined.
Oh, okay. I did know one. Okay, cool. I know one fact. Well, that's how many there are in total.
Or 12.
There's
12.
There's 12? Okay. So the ones on Hercules look at, we have the main one, which you're seeing on Nautilus Live. This is how we can see all the different biology and corals, and also geology. Can't forget about the geology. And we also have smaller cameras that look around Hercules that check gauges. They also allow us to be able to look at the tether that is connecting Hercules and Argus. And it's actually pretty cool because in the butt cam of Hercules, we can actually see a lot of things that are approaching from the behind. So we can see like fishes and, which is pretty cool.
Can you zoom in on this, please?
Yeah,
These
sure.
These are incredible.
Good there. I'm going to move around, so I'm going to try to get some multiple coral shots here.
Yeah.
Try and pivot around this overhang. So you might need to come out just a little bit.
Aye. Come
Yeah,
on.
good there. Perfect, thanks.
Steve's saying these are hemicorallium precious corals. There's a mushroom coral under there.
I know Steve was saying they usually grow, corals usually grow until they kind of topple over.
Uh-huh.
I wonder how that works for ones that are growing defying gravity.
They're hanging on
upside
real
down.
hard.
I wonder if that helps them so they don't tip over, you know?
Well, look at all the variety. of
Yeah,
these.
depends
Oh
on
my
the
goodness.
holdfast strength. Wow.
Beautiful.
Whoa.
Is this a place where we might want to pop a bottle or something, or is this just a general?
I would guess so.
Love it.
Oh, huge sponge.
If it is, then we should act fast.
Okay.
Steve, what do you think? Is that a...
He's down the lounge.
Because these are so brittle, I'm going to err on the side of caution and say not here.
Okay.
Okay.
No Niskins here because
No,
they're brittle?
for the eDNA, I mean.
Oh, for the eDNA,
Yeah.
yeah, I think this might be a good candidate.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Upstream, downstream.
Fire when ready.
Yeah, upstream or downstream? That's a good question. Come wide, please, Em.
Yep. Coming wide.
I'm going to guess downstream.
Downstream, yeah.
Okay, that'll be some fast action here.
Ship is stopping, but Argus has got some swing.
Roger that. You might have to turn around and look back at me. I'll see what I can do.
So we're talking about collecting a Niskin bottle, which is a water sample.
Yep.
These samples are going to be used for the analysis of eDNA, or the environmental DNA. Just like humans slough off skin cells all the time in our environment, you know, when you sleep, as you lose hair.
You should turn, in general, yes, but in this specific time, let's just say no.
Yeah,
You got
corals slough off
video
mucus.
switch.
And so we've been working with
You can just, yeah,
researcher
you can
Meredith Everett
Other
for a
port.
long time. Last several seasons of Nautilus to collect and identify.
It will add more wraps, but in this case, I'm not too worried about it.
Collect these water samples and filter them for the DNA, for that mucus that comes off, as a non-invasive method of sampling. That if you could collect a water sample near a community of organisms and then tell from DNA sort of left behind in the water what organisms are there.
Can I get camera on preset 6, please?
Yeah, it's a really exciting possibility about sampling and identifying creatures on a much broader basis.
Yeah, Meredith confirmed that she does want a bottle here.
And Wayne, I'm probably going to need you to brighten this up. Not quite yet, but as soon as I get the thing in there, we're going to focus on those Niskin pull tabs.
Okay.
Okay, can you brighten it up, please?
That's well, I can give you
Yeah, please.
that.
Okay, I'm going for Niskin 12. Oops, that's not what I want. I want this. Okay, can someone please put eyes on the Niskin bottles. I'm going to pull that now.
Yep.
This is Niskin 12.
All right.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
We're
Okay.
gonna go
Niskin
to
fired.
Target dropped.
Herc port. Yep.
Okay, you can darken it up again. Thanks, Wayne.
Okay.
If you're watching on the quad view in the lower left, you can now see a view of the Niskin rack, which is along the port side. You see one sort of canister top closed and the rest propped open. So that sample has lids on both sides. Normally they're held open. Water flows freely through the Niskins throughout the dive. And then when we're ready to capture a sample, we pop the tops, closing that water inside. Meredith Everett, the researcher who we work closely with on the environmental DNA project, has been working recently on the Papahanaumokuakea expedition water samples, and so it's a really exciting opportunity to compare
Do one more
a
pass.
few
by
different
this one.
regions of the Central
keep moving.
Pacific. Tim, you have your niece and nephew watching, and they're wondering if Argus and Hercules are connected or on separate lines, and wondering how much deeper we'll go. Do you want to talk about the dive so far?
Oh, sure. Hi, guys. Glad you're looking in from Colorado. So, yeah, the
Wayne, you
two
can image this
ROVs
as you see fit. I'm going to look at the corals underneath here. Sorry to
Okay.
interrupt there.
All
Yeah.
right.
The two ROVs are tethered so that the Hercules, that yellow one that you can see sometimes in one of the cameras, that's tethered to Argus, which is hovering above. So Argus is connected to a cable directly to the ship. So all the motion of the ocean is kind of captured by Argus, and that leaves the Hercules one on that little cable to be able to go freely without having to get all that bumping from the ocean as it goes around.
Looks like a variety of corals.
Yeah, it's impressive. On our dive plan for this dive, we started not all the way at the base, but near the base of Seamount, and have been
Great,
climbing
okay, come
steadily
wide.
up. So we'll
wide.
continue to get shallower and shallower over the next many hours. This dive is planned to be 24 hours from midnight last night.
Start
So
moving
there's
again.
a lot more left to see here.
Fish.
Wondering how many different types of sponges and fish we've seen so far. That's something we tally up at the end of the dive. Don't keep a running total quite yet, but lots is the answer. One of the coolest fish for me so far has been the halosaur, which has kind of a duckbill shaped face and a long, elongate eel-like body.
How do you spell that, Megan?
Halosaur, H-A-L-O-S-A-U-R.
Holosaur. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like the current is a little stronger up here too.
Mm-hmm.
It seems it's coming out of the southwest. I mean,
I think it's going to the south-south.
Yeah, yeah.
South-south-south. South-southeast. So there's a kind of small ledge here. There's the top plateau, which is coming into view now.
Oh, there's
There's a small step, and then there's the big cliff below. What of this spot, which part of this spot interests you guys most, Science? Should I be following this cliff face down here?
I'd probably go down a little bit lower.
A little
I
lower.
don't really see much happening up here. Almost seems like most of the coral and things are happening down below.
Okay, roger that.
Although it looks like there's a little respite for fish and stuff above on that little ledge.
Why don't I keep the ledge right on the lasers
Perfect.
now? I'll keep that one in
Yep.
view. And we'll jump at things that excite us.
If we see any of these mushroom corals too with the elongated stalk, can we take a look at those?
Sure. If I miss it, say the word.
I've seen a few of them here, so they're around against the just above where the steep part ends.
Okay. Is this one? No, no, never mind.
It's those slightly different crinoids that Steve was talking about earlier, or wrote about.
Those yellow
Yeah.
ones?
Not the pink or the blue one or the
Yeah,
red
Aquila
ones.
Crinus.
Yeah.
They seem much. They're much bulkier than the red ones. Look like a different type of firework, you know, 4th of July fireworks. Like these are those long streamer ones instead of the nice compact round ones.
Yeah. Different kind of firework. That's a great description.
Thank you.
But a sea firework, of course.
I like those land fireworks.
We're gonna make a.
A lot more crinoids now.
Mm-hmm.
It all started with the sea crow.
We're gonna actually make a key for the deep sea. It's gonna be like, does it live in the sky or the sea?
Has the current gotten stronger now?
Yeah, it has a little bit, I think.
A little bit, yeah. More up here than it was down on the slopey pit.
Can we zoom on the red coral?
Yeah, go ahead, Wayne.
Pushing in.
Is that bubble gum?
Is it?
Zooming in.
Or the other fragile
Yeah.
type?
Yeah, this looks like a bubble gum.
Yes.
Nice.
With a critter on it too.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
take
Is
down.
that
Couple.
something we want to sample?
Oh, that looks great.
Do you think you can grab a piece of it, or is it in
Oh.
a tough spot?
It is, but maybe. Come full wide, Wayne.
Coming for wide.
See if I can ram the old light bar in there and see what
Interestingly,
happens.
though,
That'll be hard mode, but I'm up for a challenge.
I mean, you have seabirds that are on land, though.
Ooh, good point. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Turtles walking around on the beaches.
Yeah, flying fish underwater.
Oh,
What's happening?
Hey, stop
My whole
walking.
world is a lie.
why are you walking down the cliff, Herc? Stop that. Go up.
We're gonna kind of pivot here on the light bar to reach out. There is not a limit to how long the vehicles can stay underwater. I think, because we send them power from the ship, they're not based on batteries, and because there are no people inside, you know, robots don't need to eat, sleep, or go to the bathroom in the same way people locked inside submarines do. So this dive is planned to be between 24 and 30 hours, and
Haven't
our
done this
team here
before.
on the ship will just rotate in and out on our watch shifts, which are 4 hours, and you do those twice a day.
It's a great Argus shot, too.
It's a great
This
Argus
is really
shot.
weird. I've never done this. This is so much fun. Can you brighten that up, please, Wayne?
Yeah, I'll brightening up.
Did you just park there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm zoom in.
Suna, can you get that capture? That Argus capture?
Oh yeah, I am.
Awesome.
It's like gonna go rock climbing
like-
and use my chin.
I feel like that's going in a photo album.
Let's go this way, this way. Can you get that on bubble, please? Maybe. Can you try to get that on bubble and probably not get it on bubble?
Bubble.
That's a Jake question. Yeah, keep
good
going.
job.
There it is.
That's it. Oh, incredible.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Money shot.
If you're
Wow,
watching
this
on the
might
quad,
even
you've
work.
got that view. So you're saying there's a chance.
Can I take the whole works?
We just need a piece, don't we, Steve? Or do we want to take the whole thing?
No, not the whole thing. Maybe a piece with a crinoid, or sorry, with a brittle star.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Wow, nice.
It's not sample yet. Ah, that's not where I want to be. Reach for it. No. I'm just going to go for it before I lose it. I got some bits of it.
You did?
What's
Can
on
we
the
zoom in
table?
on it?
Sure. What the heck? Jake, could you go to my cameras page and switch the port rail to starboard bio, please?
Starboard bio on.
Thank
Very
you.
nice
Good
focus.
job, Emily.
Pretty.
Cool, look at that thing.
Yay,
Awesome.
it's the bubblegum
Okay,
coral
come
I
wide.
wanted to see.
Coming wide.
And come wide on Argus too, please.
Coming wide on Argus.
Thanks, Jake, for that bubble preset. You can give me the salvo when you're ready.
And we're going to starboard. Salvo.
And,
Then I'm going to fix
okay, open the box at your leisure.
by 1. And multi-6.
These silly jaws.
Good job.
I'm munching it up a bit, but. Hey,
Yay!
all right, you can close the box.
Awesome.
Sample
Thanks.
taken. That's in Charlie.
Nice work, Trevor.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. That was amazingly fun.
Great work.
Good team.
And you can give me normal salvo.
Of course.
That's so cool. That made my morning. All right.
Our viewers
Alright.
really love your enthusiasm, Trevor. They really do. Our teammate Tim Burbank watching along with us. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Just giving a shout out to Trevor and Wayne for that nice Argus zoom. That's definitely going on the highlights.
Awesome.
Suna, that was sample 6, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, forehead parking.
That's why they're there, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Put the bump in bumper.
So cool, and it was the bubblegum coral that I wanted to see. This dive is going awesome.
Wayne, could you zoom past the vignetting, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely current here. You see some of the ripples on the sediment, even on the ledges here.
Let's get rid of this.
Hmm. Yeah, these big yellow crinoids seem to really like it. A lot of them. Kind of a boot-shaped sponge down a little ways.
Boot shaped, yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Italy shaped. I like these when the animals are on the pointy bit, so I can kind of pirouette all the way around them without hitting anything. A lot of fun.
I'm sure they like it too. Out in the full steam.
Is that a mushroom coral down below there, just to the right of the lasers?
Let's take a look. Gotta wait a little bit for the ship to catch up, but I'm just getting a little eager. Let's look at this rock in the meantime.
Interesting question here of why we're not seeing a lot of fish. I think our expectations are often set by shallow water biomass. Interesting thing about the deep sea is that the deep sea is more diverse than many of the shallow water environments. Even if the overall biomass, you're not seeing massive schools of fish. Food is much harder to come by down in this environment than it is in more shallow areas. Particularly in the rich kind of upwelling and blooming zone of the equatorial Pacific. So these animals down here are feeding off of things that rain down to them, and that both the quality of the food is degraded as it gets down lower, as well as the density of available calories. So not really expecting to see huge schooling tuna at these depths or those types of things, but we have seen quite a diversity of fish already. Halosaurs, tripod fish, cusk eels. So, I mean, just stay tuned. We never know what we'll see. We haven't explored in this area before, so when we're seeing things, they're making range expansions. Each one of these groups that we can identify, we're able to place here on a seamount where no one knew they lived before.
Zooming in.
And that's incredibly important to science, in addition to naming new species or describing new species, but just knowing where species live and what types of environments.
I think that's what Steve was looking for, the long-armed mushroom.
Don't know if I'll be able to sample that one, but...
Well, I think he just wanted to look at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you can zoom in a bit more, Wayne.
Okay, zooming in. And
I gotta get a little closer.
Great look at those pinnate tentacles.
Yeah. There we go.
It's like a plankton nightmare right there.
Plankton's worst nightmare.
Oh.
Imagine if plankton
I
dreamed.
think I need to take down the light. There we go. Now we can
Nice,
see.
nice focus.
Beautiful. Look at all the little pips on the main round base.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are all called, but
Wow.
And there definitely is a current here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Argus layback is pretty dramatic.
come wide, please.
There's
Coming
another
wide.
purple thing down there on the rock too.
Yeah. There you go, Wayne. Another
Tentacles.
purple thing. There's your boot sponge.
Yeah, it looks like a cool sponge. It actually is kind of a satellite dish opening towards the current, scooping up more of those things as they come by.
Scooper duper.
Take a look.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Let me line it up here.
All right.
I'm getting a little close to the cliff, so I won't go down anymore after this, but... Okay, zoom in.
That's
That
cool.
shrimp's holding
Shrimp,
on.
yeah.
Neat.
How cool is that? All right, come wide.
Okay,
I'm gonna come
coming
back
wide.
up.
Little urchin
Coming
down
wide.
below there too.
Is that a sea urchin?
Oh yeah.
The white one.
It almost looked like a sponge. It had like
Yeah.
two, yeah, complex anchoring on a sponge.
Is that a green coral?
And down to the right there.
Yeah, I think it's the yellow one.
So
Crinoid.
question for you guys, science. I keep kind of wandering down the slope and forcing myself to come back up to the top. Do you want me to come maybe 5 meters down from the edge, from the top ridge there? Or do you want me to kind of stay up on here?
Well, no, it seems like that's more target rich, a little down below where you've been.
Yeah, okay. So maybe, what do you think, Miles? Should we spring Argus off at like 5 more meters?
Yeah, I'll just
As you wander, yeah. Sounds good
start
to
moving
me.
at like 10 or 15 degrees. And then
Perfect. I am with ya. Let me just do a little quick check to see the strike of this bad boy.
should still be due north.
Probably. Just for a sanity check, you know? Yeah, it looks pretty northy. Yeah,
We've been going due north for the last 200 meters, so.
nice. And it's confirmed that we are sane.
Yet another awesome Argus shot. It's just as the light sort of falls down the cliffside.
That's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna mosey a bit here.
Gorgeous. And the Argus shot, which is on channel 2 if you're watching at home, you can get some different perspective also about some of these sponges. I mean, that sponge we're just approaching, absolutely glowing in the bright lights.
It's quite currenty down here though, for sure.
Hello to folks exploring with us at University of California, Santa Barbara's Reef. We've selected a couple samples so far. Most recent sample was our bubblegum coral that picked up off a reef face. Had a brittle star associate along with it. Many of these relationships, commensal relationships, are unique to species. They'll end up with a just a pairing, and we don't know a lot about the ecology of that yet. How do they find one another? You know, what are the reproductive strategies or benefits of that? But certainly, you can imagine the sea stars getting quite a bit of advantage just from the elevated position, being up in the accelerated current.
All right, I should skedaddle here. Falling a little behind. Just too distracted.
Can I steal bubble cam?
You bet.
Bunch of sponges here.
Okay, that's looking like a better
Yeah, that's a
better
good-
herd position.
Are they corals? Yeah, it might be coral.
Yeah, good call on USBL.
Good question coming in. Some of the common names here can get a bit confusing. So sea fans are a group of corals, or a group sort of, sea fans can be referring to gorgonians. Sea whips can be referring to some of these different types of corals that we see here. So you'll hear scientists describing them, you know, sometimes in those common names: black corals, precious corals, sea whips, sea fans, sea pens. But we are talking about organisms all within the same types of scientific groups. Sometimes we're able to identify those down to genus, more rarely to species, and sometimes we're encountering things that we can just sort of broadly put into a family grouping. So you'll hear us bounce around quite a bit, but there are also a variety, there are many similarities, but also many differences here. There are corals we'll see that have proteinaceous skeletons, some that have hard, you know, aragonite, calcium carbonate skeletons, ones that have different types of commensal relationships,
This one's huge.
Some of the identifying features can be things like how many polyps are on each, or how many tentacles are on each polyp, or how are the
3.5.
sclerites, 7, or how are the sclerites, which are the structural plates inside the skeletons, how are they arranged, or how are they ornamented. So there's a lot of detail that we're looking at in order to
Zoom in, please.
create this species inventory, or this.
This is the first corkscrew one I've seen this dive.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Corkscrew coral or something?
Yep. You
Is
can
that
call
wh-
them that for a common name.
Is that
Was that a type of precious coral? I can't remember.
Any more guesses?
Pig's tail?
Fireworks?
spring corally thingy?
Slinky.
This is a black coral, actually.
The
Can I have front porch again when you're done?
Thank you, Steve, for keeping us in line.
Wide.
Thank you.
close enough.
How about this one?
This one's a big kahuna coral. This is like, you can see an Argus shot. You don't really get the scale with Herc, but you can see in Argus how
Yeah.
We're
gargantuan.
stretching the entire width here.
I hope it's a Gorgonian, so I can say it's a gargantuan Gorgonian, but I don't think it is.
Is that a bamboo?
You're right in a way.
Thanks, in a way.
You're not wrong.
So this one's a bamboo coral, and if you look close enough, you can probably see those nodes.
Why don't we
fantastic.
look close enough? Yeah, go ahead, Wayne.
Okay, let me turn the light down.
Bamboo
give-
corals are bathypathies?
Let's go all the way in, Wayne.
All the way.
I can see if I can keep it centered.
Alright.
Try my best here and come
Oh.
back the other way. Oh! Could you come down a little bit in your delta? I'm going to try and push this one to just a little bit. 2 meters or something. I'm going to try and get this not as bouncy.
See those
Like-
nodes.
Hundreds of little
Yikes.
baby arms.
Sorry, Wayne. I will get back there, I promise.
It's okay.
That's a huge base, so that's probably an indicative that this colony's pretty old.
Okay.
Incredible. Look at it.
All right, now I can follow it along.
It's all you. I'm not touching it.
You might need to touch focus. I can't guarantee that one.
Actually, focus will stay the same. Nice. Nice.
Gorgeous bamboo coral tentacles.
Keeps going.
It doesn't stop, does it?
Nice
There
job.
we go.
Perfect. Come
Eve.
wide, please.
Et voila. Well done.
As wide as the ROV. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor, if we see another one of those sponges, it might be worthwhile collecting.
Okay.
Steve
The
mentioned.
like the one that previously looked boot shaped.
Yeah. Or no, the one that had the open, I think.
Okay. You might have to point it out again.
Okay.
Can't specifically recall.
So some of these corals can be hundreds of years old. There are different types of corals aged to the thousands of years. They are secured by the holdfast. You can see it looks kind of like that pasted section onto the rock. So they're anchored there and then go out into the current. I don't know, I don't feel like we can say it too often that these are animals. So they're a colony of animals growing together. Certainly some incredible discoveries from other exploration in the Pacific Ocean. You know, corals, you know, as large as the ROVs and bigger. Just amazing to know that they're living in these undisturbed environments. Once a coral loses its anchorage, it either breaks off or falls off. that's the end of that colony, and they can sprout up again.
What's this little round dude?
Yeah, what is that?
Angel food cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bubble gum on top.
Was it a land urchin? Go ahead and zoom.
It looks like an urchin.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's total cliffhanger status right there. It's holding on with its 2 feet. So they have a hydraulic system of being able to extend their skeleton, or it's called a water vascular system, but they can reach out and hold on with little 2 feet with a pressure system, and
Okay,
that's
come on.
pretty
Wide.
impressive on that type of surface.
Coming wide. More light.
Another one of these gravity defiers.
Oh, amazing.
That's it. A cuskeel up on top too.
Hmm.
Oh, I missed
Yeah,
it.
in the back.
Oh, there it is.
Most of these coral polyps have 8 tentacles on them. The octocorals have 8. Some of the other types of coral have 6.
Megan, this reminds me of that question we got asked this morning in the
Mhm.
interaction. That was like, what do you see in the bottom of the ocean that kind of seems to defy the laws of physics?
Oh, yeah.
This is that.
Right.
Let's look at this little red squishy bit.
Yeah,
What's this
I
thing?
was- I
Go ahead and
was
zoom.
Curious about that myself.
Is that a tiny mushroom coral?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is, and with the
Oh,
tentacles
that's
pulled
so
in.
cute.
Oh,
Looking like a little golf ball.
Whoops.
Oh. Sometimes on
Aw,
the focus
sorry.
there, you
Come
can
wide,
actually see
please.
the
Okay,
little
coming
polyps halfway retracted.
It's like a limbo bar for the
Herc.
for Herc.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a second to think about what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the mushroom coral.
No.
I don't get it, but now totally. How deep can you go?
The green coral over
I'm on
there.
the yellow to the left.
Yeah.
The yellow to the left.
Yep.
Ready for zoom?
Stand by. Still quite far away, so let me get a little closer first. Okay, go ahead there.
Okay, zooming in.
Oops, coming up a little bit. Okay,
Bits.
a little more zoom.
Zoom in.
Beautiful. That's the mustard flavored one.
Great. I think that's the another one of the ones we sampled. So just get some pictures of it, some grabs, and we'll move on.
Okay.
What is it, Steve?
Plexaurid octocoral for now.
Now we get a chance to see that mushroom coral with the polyps retracted. Any more zoom there, Wayne?
Yeah, I got a little bit left.
You can see that
All right,
symmetry
come
there
wide.
of the polyp.
Coming wide.
I gotta move along.
Wow.
Purple coral down there.
Drop down and look at that real quick, sure.
Whoa.
No, I can't reach. I gotta move forward a little.
I got lots of zoom.
Yeah, I gotta move along though.
Okay. Okay.
Miles, how do you feel about bringing Argus closer?
Can do.
Another big coral off to the right there.
We can see that
Ooh,
as a
there's
flyby.
another slime star.
Oh, look at this.
That one's kind of dehydrated. Thanks. I don't know what I want in life.
And none of us do. We're out here.
Yeah.
We'll just do a flyby.
Though I feel safest like this.
Totally. Here's some spongy things.
Yeah, I don't know, Steve, did you say you wanted one of these, or if we can get it, or? Bubble gum.
Just decide real fast.
No, that's okay for now.
Okay. All right. It's cool view on Argus. It's kind of confusing with the little sandy bit on top.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually nice. You can actually see the current direction and everything with the ripples.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool.
You usually need at least 15 centimeter per second flow to get ripples like that in these types of sediments.
Oh,
I didn't know that. 15 centimeters a second.
That's moving.
Yeah, that's going.
So those ripples form perpendicular to the direction of flow. So that would mean the current's moving right to left for viewers there, and then sort of bouncing along the seafloor, making those ripples.
That's 0.3 knots, isn't that right?
Usually they form perpendicular, but if current's just right, they can actually form parallel too if it's a little faster moving.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Something swimming down there.
Yeah,
Swimming.
polychaete or something. Or
Well, this little tiny guy, right
Yeah.
dead center pretty much. Go ahead and zoom, Wayne.
up
Right
left,
up to the
I
top.
don't see
up left.
zooming.
Ooh.
There.
What is he?
It's a
Or
leaf
she?
sheet.
Oh, look at
Little
that tiny,
worm.
little shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
So he's along for the ride whether he wants to or not.
Hmm.
Hurry up.
Or is it part of
Is
them?
he Pushing it?
Are they
Hauling that
pushing
back
it?
to
Yeah.
his den.
All right, come on.
I have no idea what that was.
On the right, is that one of the sponges they wanted collected?
No, I don't think he
Wow.
wants them now.
Oh,
So I think we were looking at a siphonophore that had some sort of crustacean prey, maybe.
Yeah, wow.
It reminded me of seeing a little ant carrying a big leaf.
Except I think the leaf in this case was getting the ant. Yeah, it's the opposite. The land analogy really breaks down here.
Sea ant.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. This is going to be a recurring trend.
We'll find out.
I can hear your excitement, Megan.
Love you guys.
Yeah, that's a nice carbonate reef structure
Yeah,
on top.
it's
of it.
really
You can
cool.
see it move like, yeah.
It's cool seeing the sediment tucked underneath like that.
Mm-hmm. So for the question coming in about the amount of tether in between, Hercules is connected to Argus by a 31-meter tether, and then Argus is connected back to the ship by what we call the 6/8 cable, which is the power and connectivity connection back to the ship. So we have a drum of over 4,000 meters of cable on board Nautilus, and the amount that we need to pay out is controlled by the winch, and that depends on how deep we are going. So not all that cable is in the water right now, but Argus is designed to be heavy in water, not with an addition of buoyancy from a phone pack, so it hangs and holds tension in that 6/8 cable from the ship. So if the ship moves up and down, Argus moves up and down, and it's that independent tether, the 31 meters, that lets Hercules be a stable imaging and sampling platform for us down in the deep sea.
Nice drift of coral here.
Yeah, that looks like an interesting cluster.
We're sneaking up on you.
Oh yeah.
Is this bottle worthy?
Yes.
Sounds like he
Looks
wants
like
a bottle.
No, I said yes.
Oh, you did? I don't know.
I don't know if Steve does or not. He might be getting early lunch in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, these are big.
Yeah, we got one in hand, so I guess we can move on. Get some zooms on this, but we don't need to take a bottle.
Roger.
You want some zoom?
Sure.
Meredith, are you seeing this scene right now? Do you think this is a good place to fire another Niskin for eDNA?
Coming wide.
Too bad we didn't start up current. Go down. That would have been super deluxe.
Yeah.
And you'd see something, want to bottle it, and then your party on the lee of it. Plus, it'd be really smooth to move around.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, that's some layback
60
there.
meter layback into this breeze.
Wow. Kite.
That'd be cool too, going down current with the layback. It'd be like lay front, you know, or you know. I don't know what the words are.
You're like, they don't pay me for my words.
They sure don't. They better not. Heavy?
Little, pretty cool sponge down there. You
Yeah.
can see the osculum, which is where
Oh,
they
what?
eject water from. Pull it in from the
It's not going
sides and
anywhere.
eject it out.
No, I'll say. And with colors like that, no one will move it anywhere. No one wants it.
It's lovely.
Did you pick them? I'm sorry.
I was given a few options.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you redecorate your station over there, Miles?
New keyboard.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
It
got
weighs 10 pounds.
It's got some
and it's
serious
color
gravity
coded.
in it. Oh, it's functional color coding.
Yeah.
Oh, then okay, that makes sense.
It's my first time actually using it, so
Oh yeah, how's it feel?
it's nice.
Are you a keyboard nerd like some of the other people on here?
No. Usually I just use whatever is given to me.
Who helped you design it?
Justin.
Mm. He takes his keyboards most seriously
Yes,
of
he does.
everyone
Way into 'em.
aboard. Shortly after our staff moved to remote offices, I remember I went down to visit Justin, and he wanted me to try out a couple keyboards because he was collecting input on which type of keyboard would be the best, and he couldn't decide between a couple different types of key strike. And I was just like, this is not a detail that I considered when I moved to a remote office. But
He's got
yeah.
a test platform that I had to press. He's like, which one do you like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta.
They're all good.
I feel like, and then
press
I feel like then he kind of like profiles you. It's like a personality quiz.
It
Like,
is,
do
yeah,
you
yeah.
like the loud clicky button? Do you like the soft touch button that makes no sound at all but doesn't recoil very quickly? They're really interesting things you wouldn't consider.
Can we have a quick zoom on the pink coral
Pink
on
thing.
the right?
I'll see if I can reach it. This is straight ahead, just below the lasers?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. If
I don't
it's
think we
not.
can reach
All
it.
right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Want me to come down?
No, I don't think so.
Pink. Oh, I see.
No, I'm pulling Argus around.
Give it a go.
No, we're too far away.
Okay.
I gotta back off.
Holding off.
I feel like the strike is actually, this is actually the strike. You know what I mean?
You think it's coming in a little bit?
I think it's coming in a little bit, yeah. Just enough that this new trajectory is not.
I just switched back to due north.
I think we should go more this way. Because right now I'm 250 or something, and it's pretty square to me, you know?
Yeah. What's that coming up?
Don't know what that is. That might be interesting. We could be patient. Patience is a virtue, I've heard.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Plato?
You must sound a little bit more certain.
7.
But yeah.
All right, I gotta deal with this. I'm off the wall.
So Miles, give us an update here as we're getting closer to the end of the watch. How are we doing progress-wise through the whole plan?
We are 1,300 meters from waypoint 4, the parasitic mound.
Woo!
And out of 10, I don't know how far away 10 is. Stand by.
So imagine a big mountain. We've climbed up the side of it, up the sort of the slump feature. Those are the really, really
I'm pulling you.
steep
You'll see that for a sec, but
features
I'll try and
that
unpull
we
you
saw.
soon.
Expect this to be a slump, meaning a
Just gotta play some catch up.
underwater slide, rock
There you go.
slide down the side. Collected a few samples there. Climbed all the way up to the top and have been moving along the ridge. Now on top of this mountain, there is another cone. So this is sort of a guyot, which means this mountain isn't pointy, you know, imagine the traditional volcano everyone would draw, just a pointy mountain. Instead, the guyot means that it has a sort of a flat top, which is an indicator that it was above the surface. Corals formed a carbonate platform around the top, sort of broadening the tip of the mountain as well as eroding by being exposed, being subject to erosion along the top. And then the mountain ducting back down, so getting covered again
that'll
in
be
water.
fun.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
A parasitic cone is the idea that there was in a secondary series of volcanism that on top of this flat top, or sort of the flank of this flat top, there would be a secondary cone or another eruption creating a new volcanic feature along the top. So what we're hoping to do with this, and where that falls in the sort of game plan of the entire dive, is to collect some rock samples also from this parasitic cone to be able to get a kind of a range of ages. By aging the rocks from the base within this slip feature, we'll be looking at what sort of the flanks or the sides of this seamount, what type of age we're looking at there from within the basalt, and then if we can collect a rock from within this parasitic cone, we'll know kind of what some of the younger ages or some of the more recent volcanic activity on top of the seamount would be. So that's the plan in sampling on this, as well as from the biological side,